Representatives of expertise of France, the European Union, representatives of the OCT, and actually the Caribbean great nations, good morning. Welcome to this Strategic Steering Committee meeting for this RESEMBID program. This is the first face-to-face steering committee meeting, and I'm very honored as Prime Minister of St. Maarten to set the tone for today's session. And I will make good use of it, believe me. We are here for a bigger purpose, and we have to realize that. But I want to make a statement for all of us this morning. When God decided to create humankind, Caribbean people were walking around already. That's why Caribbean people are so resilient, and sustainability is not a big challenge for them. For example, St. Maarten has been completely destroyed in 2017 with Hurricane Irma, but really completely destroyed. We are 7 years further, and you arrive on an island without getting a first impression that you are landing on an island that has ever had the biggest catastrophe ever in its history. And we are up and running, doing business as usual. That shows the resiliency of the people of this area. Further, financially, all Caribbean islands are constantly in financial challenges. Whatever program you try to implement in small Caribbean islands, at the end of the day, the finance is going to be the biggest challenge to make your original plans sustainable for the country. You have to realize that very good, because plans come in and projects come in with a purse full of money. When the plan and the project finalizes, actually you have done it for persistency and continuity. And at that particular moment you realize that the party stops because the finance is there anymore to give actually support for the continuity of your program. And that's why I feel there is an enormous drive for this hub that constantly is being mentioned. And actually this hub is to guardian the continuity of the original great plans that we have for this area of the world. I have already a proposal for the OCT. Being the overseas countries and territories, and we're going to call the hub also OCT, but it will stand for Original Caribbean Territories. So you have two in one. We're going to have the OCT as Big Mama, and we will have OCT being the Original Caribbean Territories as the hub of the big OCT. Abbreviations stay the same, but the significance is completely different. Don't forget that in your future plans for a hub. And as Prime Minister of St. Maarten, of course, I would like to accommodate the hub in St. Maarten. If it's possible, you will have for sure the backup of this government to establish a hub here in St. Maarten. We cannot be successful in our vision for our country if we are not conscious about what we are carrying in our mind. Without insulting any person here in the room, we are talking about OCT. It is overseas, countries and territories. Why am I considered something, by the way, overseas on the other side? When I talk of the Netherlands, France, Germany, I'm not talking about overseas continents on the other side. I'm acknowledging them as the Netherlands, Germany, France. But why, when we turn it around, it's about like, by the way, there is something called a overseas thing going on the other side. No, we are a great Caribbean entity that should be acknowledged as a potential developed area to contribute to the further development of the world. So just a hint for the future, this OCT gives again that feeling like, by the way, something happening there on the other side of the ocean. While when I turn from this side to the other side, I will never have in my mind that it's about something else on the other side going on. We have to start being very conscious about how we recognize ourselves as an entity. I am somebody that believes in the Caribbean. As Europeans believe in Europe and made it strong, I do believe the Caribbean can be a great, great part of the world. But to be great, you have to think big. And I have to give you a few incentives how I see the Caribbean of the future. You have a World Bank. You have a European Bank. I think we should have a Caribbean Bank. There's one. You have the Blue Helms for the United Nations. I think you should have your Blue Helms to guardian the peace in the Caribbean. We have tourism, as I said yesterday. We have to base our tourism product, as I said yesterday, based on the differences and not the similarities. I do believe, as Europe could have organized itself for the euro, why cannot the Caribbean organize itself for a Caribbean monetary unit? What is wrong with the Caribbean that the whole world moves to unify, and we are fighting each other here in the Caribbean instead of unifying to get stronger? We have to diversify in the Caribbean, but we have to do it with a collective voice. And I really believe that that is possible. Concerning the programs and projects that you guys really believe in, and I also, the only way of success of whatever you do for people that are in need of development will only be successful if you impregnate that program in the soul and the mind of the people of that country. If you do not include the people for what you're doing that, you are going to have not a successful project for the future. Further, you have to make everybody a co-owner of your program. Nothing is going to be successful in life if you do not implement the concept of co-ownership. It's about inclusion, it's about co-ownership. Don't recognize only the limitations of that country. Those will always be there. Don't call me a sitz. I will always be a sitz. Talk with me about terms, names that I can work on and change. Small island development state. I will always be, in 200 years from now, a small island development state. It is what it is. But if you continue classifying me as a SITS, it's going to be a reality confrontation that I, as a leader, cannot do anything with except feeling myself inferior to the world because I am a SITS in classification. We have to become very conscious how we give things name in this world. Also the same with OCT. We're going to call the OCT in the Hub edition the original Caribbean territory in the world. And that is the only way that programs and plans are going to work. I spoke about impregnating programs in the people. I spoke of involving, including people in co-ownership of whatever you do. And the only way to do this is to make impact by actually making this part of their habits, of their way of thinking, their culture, and also through their education. Come with a plan to avoid plastic bags, and don't go to the schools to educate them, and don't have a media to reach to the parents that have to continue educating them about the use of plastic bags. At the end of the day, it's going to stay and remain an illusional concept that will never be implemented. Education of a people is the only reality for success. Mind you, St. Maarten's population is in education in a challenging situation. For example, 42% of our community does not have a finalized secondary school education. Do you really think you can work on nation building in a country that 42% of your society do not have a finalized secondary school education? With RESEMBID or without RESEMBID, you are not going to be successful on the long term if you don't realize the context in which you want to execute your project of your plan. First of all, in all plans that you guys make and offer to us, what I'm very grateful for, first of all, you have to see the necessity to solve that problem. If your people is not ready to solve that problem, you are not going to be successful with the plan you have for that society. Secondly, you should ask yourself if the people realizes that it's a problem. Once you identify the problem, each problem is born in a context. If you do not understand the context of the problem that you want to combat, you are not going to be successful in achieving your goals to solve the problem of that community. These are a few small statements that I want to make as the Prime Minister of St. Maarten. And further, of course, as usual, I just want to go through a few statements of these 4 or 5 days that we have to bring with each other. You're going to delve into various facets of RESEMBID program these coming days. Each one of you play a crucial role in shaping the future of your respective OCT. The RESEMBID, actually, the program, is you have to realize big in intention, its intention is big, but it remains a very small drop in a large bucket of water. You have to realize that. As small island states, we are challenged with limited capacity to make full use of all the envelopes and purses that are out there for us. This is why the RESEMBID program is of great importance, as this program has demonstrated great success for this country. This is also the rationale behind the concept of having a hub, as I have heard many times. Don't forget, St. Maarten wants to be the hub, and you may use the abbreviation OCT. A collective space where experiences can be shared, but also where our assets are inventoried for ease of access. Having the necessary technical assistance in such a space will also advance and accelerate opportunities for technical development of projects in aspects such as project writing. As we come together today, we are reminded of the significant challenges and opportunities that lie ahead of us through this OCT. The RESEMBID program was conceived with a vision to enhance resilience, promote sustainable energy, and conserve marine biodiversity across the Caribbean OCTs. These pillars are more than just objectives. They are essential elements that support the sustainable development and well-being of our community. Since the inception of RESEMBID, this RESEMBID has made remarkable strides for our community in supporting projects and initiatives that are making a tangible difference in our society. From community-based resilience projects to innovative renewable energy solutions and critical marine conservation efforts, our collective work is paving the way for a more sustainable and resilient future. Today's meeting is a strategic milestone where the following will have to happen. We have to review the progress that we're making, all of us. Assess the advancements we have made towards our goals and reflect on the impact of our initiatives. Secondly, set strategic directions. It's important. Are we busy in the right way? Should we change direction to be more successful? Define the future direction of this RESEMBID program. Dare to stand up if you have the feeling that we are not going to achieve our common goal, the path that we are walking at this particular moment. And of course, enhance collaboration, strengthen our partnership, and foster greater collaboration among the stakeholders to maximize the program's impact. And last, discuss the challenges. The only way to be successful is to dare look at yourself in the mirror. Identify the challenges we face and develop actionable strategies to overcome them. We are aware that the journey towards resilient, sustainable energy and biodiversity conservation is not without its challenges. The changing climate, economic uncertainties, and evolving social dynamics require us to be adaptable and forward thinkers for the future. I encourage each of you to engage actively in the discussions in the coming days. Your insights and experience and perspective are invaluable. I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to our partners at the European Union, whose support and vision have been instrumental in advancing our shared goals. We also deeply appreciate the dedication of you as focal points and the unwavering commitment of the communities we serve. I would like to thank you all for the extra miles that you are going for the people in the Caribbean, and in this case also for my people of St. Maarten. And I hereby officially open this conference, and I wish you a lot of learning moments, and please follow your heart in decision making for the future of improvement of livelihood for the people of this world. Thank you very, very much.